Hey, what's up everybody? Today is Friday, July 24th. Happy Friday. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about the PPP forgiveness guidance that was just released yesterday for lenders. I know it's for lenders, but I'm going to be relaying it back to how it can affect you and what this means for you. All right. But first, if you're new here and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm keeping you guys up to date as often as I can with useful information. So hit subscribe to keep up to date with everything there. And then smash that like button when you have a chance, especially if you like this content, to help me out. I would really appreciate that. And definitely leave me some questions and comments below, because I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about everything that's going on right now. All right. So a quick overview of what was released yesterday. It was guidance for lenders on how to handle forgiveness applications for the PPP. It's going to give some timelines and dates, and also it's going to outline what the lender's responsibilities are and what the SBA's responsibilities are, and also what the borrower's responsibilities are. And also I'm just going to let you know what this means for you. So first, I'll go over some of the procedures on what's about to happen here. So in this guidance, the SBA states that the borrower can apply for forgiveness before the covered period is up. You know, whether you like the 8-week or 24-week covered period, you can apply for forgiveness before that's up. I definitely recommend you wait until you actually use your PPP funds as it was intended to, but it's good news because you don't have to actually wait, especially if you elect the 24-week period, you don't have to wait till the end of that because that's 6 months. It's a long time from now. Another thing that they mentioned is that they are partnering with a tech company, and they're going to have a live online portal basically where lenders can submit forgiveness applications and supporting documents to the SBA. And that portal is going live on August 10th. So that's most likely why most of your banks have not released any type of forgiveness application or forgiveness procedure yet, because they were waiting for more guidance from the SBA on logistics basically. So that's going live August 10th. Unless there's new legislation that changes the way that forgiveness works and all that stuff like there was back in June, then the SBA reserves the rights to extend that date. So basically, the lender is supposed to confirm the calculations that you make. All right, so it is your responsibility to properly fill out the forgiveness application. It's your responsibility, and it's your responsibility to submit supporting documents. And you cannot receive forgiveness unless you have a complete application and proper supporting documents. Now, it's the lender's responsibility to review all of that stuff, to review your calculations and review your documentation. And then it's their responsibility to make the decision on your forgiveness, okay? It's not the SBA's responsibility, it's your lender's responsibility, whoever you got the PPP loan from. And after that, once the lender makes the decision, they submit it to the SBA, and then the SBA will deduct whatever EIDL advance amount that you received. Per the CARES Act, we already know this, if you receive the PPP and the EIDL advance will reduce the amount of forgiveness by the PPP, all right? So that's just general procedural stuff. I'm gonna go a little bit into more detail about the responsibilities of each party involved. So basically who makes the decisions and what happens after or before then. So as I just mentioned, the lender is the one that makes the decision on your forgiveness. So they review your application and your supporting documents, and they decide whether you get full forgiveness, partial forgiveness, or no forgiveness. Once the lender receives your application, your complete application for forgiveness, they have 60 days to make a decision and submit that to the SBA. If they decide that there is a partial forgiveness or no forgiveness, then the loan has to be serviced by the lender, and you're expected to repay the loan, before the maturity date, which is now 5 years. As long as you agree with the lender, if your loan was issued after June 5th, then you automatically get a 5-year maturity date. But if it was issued before June 5th, then you have to work it out with the lender, because that's originally a 2-year maturity date. So if the lender approves your loan for full or partial forgiveness, they're submitting that to the SBA. They're basically requesting payment from the SBA on your behalf. They're requesting payment from the SBA to pay your loan, either fully or partially, and that's how that works. If the lender denies your application, denies your forgiveness, then the SBA has the right to review that denial to make sure it's legitimate. And also you as a borrower has the right to request for the SBA to review that denial as well. So if you think you were wrongfully declined the forgiveness, then you may request the SBA to review it to make sure everything's all good. I'm glad that there's that check and balance in place so that, you know, as we've seen, lenders sometimes don't know what the hell they're doing. And I don't blame them because all this is coming out so fast, like drinking from a fire hose. But I'm glad there's that check and balance in place to make sure, you know, if they screw up, you have another system in place to make sure it's like an appeal system. Now, speaking of an appeal system, here's like the other side of that, okay? The SBA can review any loan application of any size. If you have a $1,000 loan application or $2 million application, they can review any application at will if they want to. And the reason they would do that is to make sure that you are eligible for the loan in the first place and that you're eligible for forgiveness, okay? From firsthand experience, I know a lot of people who receive the PPP loan when they absolutely should not have. If you receive a loan and you spent the money and you should not have received the loan, you're putting yourself at risk of a really bad financial situation, especially if you spent the money already. So just a warning out there, the SBA can review your loan application and forgiveness application just to make sure your loan is legitimate. Now, obviously, if the SBA determines your loan is ineligible, then you have the right to appeal that decision as well. And there's more guidance to come on the process of appealing that decision. It's going to be released in an interim final ruling. So we don't have much guidance on that right now, but that's just what we know. The SBA is basically outlining what they can do, and what lenders can do, and what you have to do, okay? If any of these negative aspects, if any of these negative decisions come your way, you do have rights to appeal and the ability to get it overturned. So that's good. But in terms of specifics, we don't know much of that yet, all right? So that's all I got for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Again, smash that like button if you enjoy this content. Let me know below what you think, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. So it's my daughter's two-year birthday this weekend, and we're gonna be doing a little celebration here, just us because of social distancing. I'm gonna be smoking a brisket, so that's really exciting. So let me know what you're doing this weekend. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great weekend. Take care for now. Stay safe.